Hey guys, and welcome to another part of the character modeling tutorial. This part will be about having fun with your model. So we worked quite a lot on this already, and we have now the finished body itself, which we created actually mostly for the purpose of having all the data available. So later, if you decide on, for example, giving her another dress or something, it shouldn't be a problem. You have everything done already. You have just to go back to this step and continue working on this. And so this is a very important part here. So this step, you should definitely save a version of it, and just don't lose your files anymore. So I'm going to do that as well right now. Just save the new version of it. But anyways, this part, the reason why I said it would be fun is because we're going to color it a little bit, just to motivate ourselves to continue. You know what I showed you a few parts ago? That's what I'm going to show you now. So we'll set things up quickly. If you noticed, I'm back to the GLSL light and the textured mode, and if I unhide the lamp here, you see I have a lamp, and that looks already pretty cool. I'm going to deactivate the specular though. And now this is how I'm going to create the materials. I'm selecting the object, here the body in this case, and I'm making a new material. This new material will be based on nodes, so click the node button, and it will turn black. Now down here, go to the node editor, and you'll find the material nodes here. If not, just make sure you're here on the material tab and use nodes click. Let me zoom in. Here from the list you select the black material and it will turn back to what it was. Now you need a new input, which is geometry, and from here you will select the vertex color and use it as an input for color, and it will turn back to black. So if we go to vertex paint now, we can start painting on it. So I'm going to select some kind of skin color. We can actually pick the color from here if we want to, and then you can paint right on it. And there is some I have to admit I don't really get that part in Blender, what makes why the colors are a little bit different. So we're going to cheat to achieve the colors that we like, and this is how I do it. So the color information is somehow there, but for some reason it doesn't really show up. Or actually maybe let's just try something. Let's paint it red. You know what? Ignore what I said. Look, that's kind of the thing. This is the red that I was expecting, but in the shaded mode you get kind of an orange. So I'm not sure about that color shift, but we'll just try to ignore it and paint it with a color that looks to us like skin. So the secret to painting skin interestingly is to give it lots of variation. So first of all, I'm just painting a base, and make sure that you select the color while being in the shaded mode, because that's the color that we are going to see. Over here, just paint everything in that color. And it is pretty hard to reach every spot. You don't have to be very accurate about it though, because there is a trick to really get into all the areas that you can't reach. Just make sure to first of all get color at most places at least. Once you have that, you can use the blur brush, which I'm going to show you in a second, to reach all the places that we couldn't reach before. Because it kind of reaches into those areas. I don't know exactly how it works, but it does. So it's good for us. Just finishing a few last things. You can also paint from inside. I'm, by the way, in the wireframe view mode, and if you go to perspective, you can even paint from inside, if that helps you in any way. Just alright, this is getting so last piece. Now select the smooth brush and the blur brush, I mean, and just paint with it around, with it everywhere. Okay, this is kind of not working as I expected because I was working with a low resolution before, and that then kind of things behave kind of differently. So also we lost our color, as it seems. Did we? Yeah, we did. So let's pick the color again. Hopefully that's the same. Yep. And you know what? Just do it like that. It's fine. It's not so important. I'll pick now a little bit of a red tone and carefully apply it to various areas. So it's a little bit darker, and this one has to go into all these areas with some little shadow. So don't apply too much color, just a little bit. And with that, you'll see how suddenly everything looks a lot more alive. Just because of some little variation in the color, this starts to look really like skin. And you can think a bit of it as a shadow, probably. That's at least how you get the right place for the tones. And ignore those steps that you see everywhere. We're going to smooth them later. So as you can see, I'm just placing various points and very roughly all over the body some color tones, even if it's just really painting over what we created already. It works pretty good. Down here we need a little bit more. And inside of the hand, definitely some. And the face, well, we shouldn't cover the face too much, just this upper edge and maybe the cheeks. And then you go to the blur brush again and you start to draw over all these edges. My computer is kind of slow with this one, it seems, so I have to endure this lag, but hopefully for you it's a bit better. So just smooth everything, and it's really not so important that you have a defined edge of anything, basically. This is really just for purpose of previewing the texture. We're going to do this more properly later on when we do actual texturing. Hopefully we will cover that. This tutorial is so long already. I have no idea where we are going with this. I mean, this is part 25 or 6, I don't know even. So there you go. At first it looked a bit weird, but we played around with it a little bit and soon it turned out to pretty good. I want to just add a little bit of tone here on the arms, and we'll need to go back and blur the edges again. But that's it. That's how you get simple color. And with the cloth, it's pretty much going to be the same, just that it's going to take less time because they're still low poly, if I remember correct, and we won't have trouble of waiting too long. Yeah, let's just leave things as they are. You could, add some margins at some different places. But I'm going to add the same material. Oh, that's the wrong one. Same material to these two objects, and then enter vertex paint mode again, and select, some dark color. It's maybe a little bit bluish, and we'll start to paint on it. And for some reason it doesn't work. Oh yeah, we have the blur brush, so we need the mix or draw brush. I wonder what the difference is. Let me give the draw brush a try. I think they're pretty much the same. Well, they draw, so And this is how it turns out in shaded mode. So if you like the color, keep it. If you don't like it, change it. And let's do the same here with the upper part. You see how much faster this one works. And also we don't have so much trouble with smoothing. You could actually also do something similar here. Add tones to kind of indicate some shadows. Oh, whoa, that was way too much. Way too intense. Let's go back a step or two. Oh, because I didn't have my sensitivity on, I couldn't use the pen to only apply a little color. So maybe like this. I know if this works or not. The color is not very good anyways. So let's undo it quickly. So for the hair, same thing, but I think I'm going to start with these elements around the eye because they will make it really interesting. Oh, by the way, I'm now again distracted. Here we might want to add a little bit of a red tone to the lips. Just a little bit. Something like that. And then with a red color you could give it some highlights and shade. I don't know. Anything that looks good to you is fine. And blur takes care of all of your problems again. That's awesome. So I don't know if that was a good addition to everything. Let's make it just a little bit lighter. So, alright, let's do the same thing with all the other objects. So I'm going to hide quickly these ones, just because they take performance and we have done them already. Also the lamp. So now all these objects need also the same material, so I'm going to add the material to one of them, and then select all objects, and with Control N, select materials, and then all the materials are the same. And now let's quickly take the color. So go to Vertex Paint and select the color from our reference, if you like that, and then just paint this. And let's see if in shade mode if it looks good. Looks kind of good. It's maybe a bit too bright. Let's try something a bit more saturated. And at the moment it looks too blue, but as soon as you switch back to texture mode, the color changes again, and that looks a bit better. So I'm leaving Vertex Paint mode and entering it again with the next object. And same thing. Shouldn't take too long. Go back and select the next part. And Vertex Paint mode. In the wireframe mode, it's a lot easier to see whether you have everything covered in paint or not, so you might want to take a look at that one. And 2 parts left for the hair. Now we don't want to sculpt, we want to paint. Alright. Now I think I forgot these two. Done. And last few parts now. Let's do these quickly. This will get some dark color, maybe something like that. I think it was white in the reference, but who cares? This looks good to me. And then these parts will get the same color in my design. So let's paint them. Check if you have all the faces. And now for, wow, so many objects to click at. Let's see if we can use the same color for the eyebrows as well, because I think it kind of works. Yeah, let's just stick to it. I think I will make it a little bit darker for the eyelashes. but other than that, it's a good color already. So just cover everything with that paint. And now the last one that's a bit tricky is the eye. Let's unhide everything again and go to texture mode just to see. Oh, we forgot something. So select one part of the hair and go to explain mode just to get the color again. And then switch to that one and paint it with that same color. Alright. Once that's done, now this is the last part. But in my opinion, this really makes you enjoy your work a bit more again. As soon as you see it in color, looks better right away. So we needed that blue anyways for the eyes, so we didn't really lose the time. And that's okay. You know, you can try to do some shading here, but I'm not sure whether that will look good or not. We can give it a try. But yeah, as I said, I'm not too sure about that. Let's leave it though. Oh, one last thing that we forgot is that the inside of the eyes are actually white. So we will try to make them white again. I want to see whether we can isolate a part. So what happens if we select that and invert the selection and hide it, and then go to vertex paint mode? We might be able to paint just on what's... that's a shame it doesn't work. I was hoping that we could just paint on those areas. For some reason though, this is blue now. Let's try to hide it. You know, you could smear it away, I think. Oh no, there is no smear brush. Okay, then let's just paint it white instead. Make sure it's a good white, and let's paint the inside. So it's a bit of work, but in a few seconds it should be done. Great. And now if we look at everything from the texture mode, it should have something like that. Perfect. So I hope you like how things look. So we have lots of specular here. That is kind of annoying. You can select these objects now and go here to specular and adjust how much of it you want to see. So I'm going to make them a bit less intense and not so shiny. But we have a pretty good setup now, and you can also play a little bit around with the color of the light to get some effects, or generally just play around with this. It's kind of fun, and I'm getting carried away already. Let's leave it as it is. So that's that. I think that's it for modeling the character. Like the main chapter of it. So you could at this point do various things with it. You could branch off into a 3D printing project and whatnot, or just animate it. But what we will do for the next part is to start with the the real costume of her. I wonder if it's no, it's not in this reference, but in a different reference. That all, you should have it already if you downloaded all the resources from the 0 part. There we should have the design of the cloth, and we're going to model that in the next couple of parts and just try to get this to a finished character. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed this. It was probably a long part, too long for what we actually did, but now we can continue our work while looking at something that looks better than our work in progress thing. See you later, have a good day.